Beloved soul, a mind like yours was never designed for the ordinary. The chosen don't simply think ahead, they see ahead. And that's exactly why you unsettle them. It's not your intelligence they question, it's the mystery behind it. They whisper, they study you, trying to explain what they were never meant to understand. Because the truth is, it's not what you know that haunts them. It's how you know. That insight, that precision, it wasn't taught. It's ancient. It lives in your bones. It's the signature of the chosen. And that is what provokes resistance. They can't see the greater forces moving through your life. They think they're opposing you, but in truth, they're wrestling with something far beyond their reach. Fools who resist divine momentum don't defeat it. They collapse under the weight of their own ignorance. Before we go further, take a moment to like and subscribe. Help bring this truth to the ones who need to remember who they are. You've felt it, that deep, silent knowing. You don't just learn, you remember. You sense what others miss. You think at speeds they can't match, and it shows, they notice, they feel it, and it unsettles them. The chosen don't merely endure, they move through life like they've walked this path before. People wonder how you spot lies, stay ahead, and speak with wisdom far beyond your years. It's because you were never wired to fit into the mental cages others call normal. That's why you're feared. Power without wisdom is chaos. But wisdom without limitation, that's unstoppable. Your intelligence isn't just sharp, it's guided. You don't just process the world, you decode it. You see between the lines. You catch the signs others never notice. And that, chosen one, is your true brilliance. Your enemies aren't angry because they dislike you. They're angry because they can't fool you. They thought they could control your mind, but they failed. Now they're scrambling, playing a game they were never meant to win. That's the power of being chosen. You don't just think differently, you are different. No matter how much they plot, one truth remains. You carry the wisdom of kings, and they will never understand how. To you, the one who sees what others don't, who knows without being told, thank you for being here. Whether this is your first time or you've been walking this path with us, your presence means more than you know. If this message resonates, like this video, subscribe, and drop 88 in the comments as a sign that your wisdom is awakening. Now let's break it down step by step. If you are truly chosen, you'll feel the pull to stay until the end. Let's begin. Number one, they thought they could outsmart you, but they never stood a chance. They believed they had you figured out, thought they could manipulate and control you. But they weren't just up against you. They were fighting forces far beyond their understanding. A fool thinks he's winning until he realizes he was never in the game. They played checkers on a board already rigged in your favor, unaware that every setback was a setup, every betrayal a redirection, and every enemy their own downfall. They question how you always land on your feet, why every attempt to break you only makes you stronger. The truth, they weren't fighting you. They were fighting a system built to protect you. They tried to rewrite a script that was already sealed, to bend the universe to their will. But they forgot one thing: you were chosen, and the chosen don't play by ordinary rules. Some gain wisdom through failure, others through study. But you just know. Your mind connects the dots before the questions are even asked. That terrifies them. They were taught that power is earned, that success comes from strategy. But your power wasn't earned. It was given, embedded in you from the moment you arrived in this world. No amount of scheming can take away what was always meant to be yours. They whisper, wondering how you stay 2 steps ahead, how you see through deception that fools everyone else. They assume you analyze, plot, and calculate, but you don't need to. Your mind is connected to something greater. Your instincts aren't random. Your intuition isn't luck. It's the wisdom carried within you long before this lifetime. They scramble, trying to predict your next move, clinging to illusions, deception, and control, but you see through it all. They pretend they don't believe in fate. Yet, when everything they throw at you keeps backfiring, they're forced to question everything. If power was man-made, they'd be in control. But it's not, and that truth haunts them. Let them plot, underestimate, and convince themselves they're winning. One day they'll realize what you've known all along. They were never playing against you. They were playing against the universe itself, and the universe never loses. Number two, they call it coincidence. You see the code. They stumble through life blind to the patterns, calling it chaos. But you, Damas, you move like it was all planned. They assume you're just good at reading people, predicting outcomes, piecing things together. But they're wrong. This isn't luck. This isn't skill. It's a deeper knowing, an awareness they'll never have. While they miss the signs right in front of them, you see everything. Every shift in energy, every unspoken intention, every thread connecting the unseen. To them, life is random. To you, it never has been. They see coincidences. You see patterns. They hear words. You hear meaning. They focus on the surface. You decode what lies beneath, and that terrifies them. They can't fool you. Their lies don't work. Their carefully crafted illusions shatter the moment you look at them. They call you paranoid, dismiss you, say you overthink, but every time, you've been right. Every warning proven true, every deception exposed, every outcome you predicted, unfolding exactly as you saw it. They pretend it's just a lucky guess, but deep down, they know better. This isn't intuition. This isn't some vague sixth sense. It's seeing reality for what it truly is. Everything has a rhythm, a hidden layer beneath the obvious. While others walk through life oblivious, you navigate it with ease. You don't just exist in this world. You decode it. And that's why, whether they admit it or not, they always come to you. They trust your instincts even when they pretend not to. They rely on your insight even when they don't follow it. Because deep down, they know you see what they don't. And that thought, it haunts them. If you can see the truth so easily, what else do you see? That question keeps them up at night. That question makes them uneasy in your presence. That question reminds them that no matter how much they try to control their world, you are the one who sees the strings. Number three, they mistook your silence for weakness until it was too late. They thought your silence meant you were unsure, unprepared, maybe even intimidated. They mistook your patience for passivity. But while they ran their mouths, exposing their insecurities and revealing their plans, you were simply watching, listening, calculating. By the time you finally spoke, the game was already over. Real power doesn't need to announce itself. It waits, it observes. Then, when the moment is right, it moves with precision. That's what sets you apart. You don't waste words. You let people reveal themselves first. You hear the hesitation in their voice, see the cracks in their confidence, watch them overcompensate, unaware that they're exposing exactly what they're trying to hide. And the best part, they do it all willingly. They believe they're leading the conversation, outsmarting you, deceiving you. In reality, they're handing you every piece of information you need to dismantle them in an instant. And when you finally respond, when you drop that one sentence that cuts straight through the noise, it's already too late. They weren't debating you. They were exposing themselves to you. That's why people either admire or fear you. Some respect your presence, recognizing the depth behind your silence. Others find it unsettling because they can't read you, can't predict you. They poke, they push, desperate for a reaction. But when they realize they can't control you, they've already lost. So let them misunderstand your silence. Let them think they're winning. Because one day they'll realize what you've known all along. The most dangerous person in the room is never the loudest. It's the one who's been quietly listening the entire time. Number four, they struggled to keep up because you rewrite the rules. They thought they were playing by the rules until they realized you were the one writing them. While they stay trapped within limits they've been taught to accept, you move beyond them, bending reality to your will. What they call impossible is just another challenge for you, and that shakes them because it means the rules that confine them don't apply to you. They wonder how you come up with ideas no one else thinks of, how you always find a way when there shouldn't be one, how you make things work that should be impossible. It's because they were taught to obey limits. You were born to break them. They think inside the lines, you move past them. They follow the rules, you reshape them. They believe reality is rigid, yet you walk through walls they didn't even know had doors. That terrifies them. If the limits they believed in were never real, what else have they been wrong about? Instead of facing that truth, they dismiss you, calling you lucky, labeling you crazy, because it's easier than admitting they've caged their own potential. Yet when their logical paths collapse and they have no answers left, who do they turn to? You, the one who always finds a way. What they fail to realize is that this isn't about intelligence or effort, it's about being chosen. Wisdom like yours isn't learned, it was placed within you. You didn't decide to be this way, you just are. And no matter how much they doubt you, one thing will never change. You will always be the one who makes the impossible look easy. Number 5, they can't explain it, but they feel it. A storm doesn't announce itself, it just arrives. And the wise don't question the wind. They move with it or get swept away. The moment you step into a room, something shifts. Conversations pause. People glance up. The energy bends. Some dismiss it, pretending they didn't feel it. But deep down, they know. You were never just another face in the crowd. Others demand attention with noise, power plays, or forced confidence. But you don't have to do anything. Your presence alone carries a weight they can't define. And that shakes them because true power isn't loud. It's undeniable. Some are drawn to it instinctively, seeking your wisdom. Others resist, growing defensive or uncomfortable. Not because of anything you do, but because your presence exposes them. You don't just enter spaces, you shift them. People rethink their words, their choices, their very existence when you're around. The right ones take notice. The wrong ones feel exposed. And the universe moves accordingly. Some call it charisma, others call it fate. But the truth is simple. It's the weight of being chosen. And once they feel it, nothing is ever the same again. Number 6, they thought they could deceive you until their lies fell apart. A liar fears two things, the truth and the one who sees it before they even speak. They believed they were in control, that their words could twist reality, that their carefully crafted lies could shape your perception. But they never understood who they were dealing with. You don't just catch lies, you read them before they even take form. While others rely on body language and hesitation, you sense deception in the energy, in the gaps between words, in the misalignment between what's spoken and what's felt. They thought they were controlling the narrative, but in reality, they were exposing themselves with every word. They wonder how you knew, how you saw through their acts so effortlessly. But deception has a rhythm, a frequency, and you recognize it before it even plays. They try to gaslight you, make you question what you know, convince you that you're overthinking. But deep down, they know the truth. You were right, and you've always been right. To them, deception is a game, a power move, a tool for control. But against you, it's a slow, painful exposure of their own weakness. They get frustrated when you don't react, when you don't fall for their emotional traps, when their manipulation fails. They call you cold, distant, paranoid. But what they really mean is, I hate that you see me for what I truly am. Because manipulators thrive in a world where people are blind, and you were given sight. That's why they fear you. The worst thing that can happen to a liar is meeting someone who sees through them before they even speak. Number 7, they can measure intelligence, but they'll never measure you. They train, they study, they struggle to compete, yet you walk in already knowing. They try to define you, categorize you, explain you away with labels and tests. But every time they fail, you don't fit inside their neatly constructed boxes. You're not just intelligent, you're something else entirely. They see intelligence as something earned through effort and experience. But you absorb truth as if it was always inside you, waiting to be remembered. That unsettles them. How do you grasp concepts instantly while they struggle? How do you predict outcomes effortlessly while they fumble? How do you see connections they miss? Navigate the world as if you've done this all before. They assume you must have studied more, had some advantage they don't. And in a way, they're right. Because what you have can't be taught, trained, or replicated. It's built into you. They climb mountains of knowledge, sweating for every inch of progress, while you see paths they don't even know exist. That's why they test you, try to catch you off guard, desperate to find the limits of what you know. But there are no limits. They analyze, you absorb. They memorize, you understand. And when they ask how you know, you don't have an answer, because you just do. That's what truly bothers them. If intelligence follows their rules, if knowledge must be earned, then how do you exist? How do you break every rule they were taught? How do you bypass the struggle they believe is necessary? When they realize they can't explain you, their admiration turns to suspicion, because what they can't define, they can't control. So they call you arrogant, strange, dismiss your abilities, not because they truly believe it, but because they need to. Accepting the truth means accepting their own limitations, and their ego won't allow that. But it doesn't matter. No amount of denial changes reality. They will spend their entire lives trying to figure out what comes naturally to you. They can measure intelligence, but they will never be able to measure you. Number 8, they can lie to the world, but not to you. A mask is useless when the eyes staring back see straight through it. They thought they could hide, but you were never looking at the surface. You were looking into their soul. Your presence alone strips away their illusions. They shift uncomfortably, their words become forced, and their carefully crafted personas begin to crack under the weight of your gaze. Most people spend their lives building walls, crafting false identities, rehearsing behaviors to avoid being truly seen. But with you, they have no choice. You don't need them to confess. You don't need evidence. You just know. It's in their hesitation, in the way they avoid eye contact, in the way their energy shifts when they're hiding something. Around you, they are forced to confront what they've spent years running from. Some find peace in this, drawn to you because they can finally be themselves. Others can't handle it. They avoid you, resent you, or talk behind your back without even knowing why. It's not about anything you've done. It's about them. You are a mirror reflecting the truths they suppress, making it impossible for them to keep lying to themselves. That kind of power isn't learned. It isn't forced. It simply is. You don't call people out. You don't demand the truth. You simply exist. And that alone is enough to shake them to their core. Because they can deceive the world, they can wear the mask anywhere else. But when they stand before you, the mask falls. Number 9. They claw for power, but you were born with it. A throne can be stolen, a title can be bought. But true power, that can only be recognized. And that's why they'll never have what you have. Watch how they scramble, fighting, scheming, demanding respect. They build their little empires, forcing control, mistaking fear for leadership. Yet without trying, without even wanting it, you are the one people turn to. That's what they can't stand. While they claw for power, you never had to chase it. It finds you. You've seen it time and time again. You enter a room and people listen, even when you say little. They feel something in you, steady, rare, undeniable. They call it charisma, presence, natural leadership. But the truth, it's something they will never understand. Power isn't taken, it's recognized. And when it's real, people just know. That's why they follow you, why they trust you over the loudest voice in the room, why even those in charge feel small in your presence. Deep down, they know their power is borrowed. Yours is built in, and that terrifies them. They assume you must be playing the same game they are, but you're not. You don't chase power. Power chases you. And for those who fought for it their whole lives, that truth breaks them. They spent years forcing people to recognize them, only to watch you walk in, say nothing, and still command more presence than they ever could. Now they don't know what to do with you. You see it in their fake smiles, forced laughter, the insecurity wrapped in politeness. They don't hate you for what you've done. They hate you for existing as proof that real power can't be manufactured. Because while they were chasing the throne, you never needed one to begin with. And that is a level of power they will never reach. Number 10, they struggle to learn. You breathe it in. They chase knowledge. You are knowledge. While they cram facts, flip through pages, and rely on charts, you absorb reality itself. They memorize, repeat, and struggle to grasp what comes to you effortlessly. You don't just learn, you become what you learn. They wonder how you know things you've never studied, how you grasp concepts instantly, how you solve problems before they even see them. They assume you've been secretly trained, spent years mastering what they barely comprehend. But the truth, it was always there. For the chosen, knowledge isn't earned through effort. It comes through alignment. The moment information enters your space, it fuses with you, rewires your thinking, and connects in ways they can't even fathom. That terrifies them. No matter how much they study, they'll never reach what comes to you naturally. They tell themselves you're just lucky, that you had some advantage. But deep down, they know the truth. No amount of books, discussions, or years can bridge the gap. They thought wisdom had to be earned. Then you appeared, knowing things you were never supposed to, making them question everything. That's why they watch you, listen when you speak, study how you think, hoping to catch a glimpse of what makes you different. Because you're not just intelligent. Your wisdom isn't learned, it lives in you. People seek you out, not for theories, but for truth. That's all for today. Dear Father, I pray for the growth of my faith. Help me trust you even when physical evidence is lacking. Let me believe in your perpetual presence, knowing you will never harm me. I understand that your thoughts for me are thoughts of prosperity and not harm, to give me a good future. Thank you, gracious and eternal Father, for always hearing my voice. I offer this prayer to you in the name of Jesus. Amen. Jesus, thank you for your endless love and faithful provision. I am truly grateful for your presence in my life and for the abundance you continue to bring along this path. If this message resonated with you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear this truth. We'd love to hear from you. Share your story in the comments and let us know how you're preparing for your own victorious return. If you'd like to support our mission, consider contributing through Buy Me a Coffee. Whether it's a small gift, a kind word, a prayer, or simply sharing this message, every act of generosity helps us grow and continue sharing hope. You'll find the link in the description below. Don't stop here. Our next video reveals powerful signs that you may be one of the chosen. This journey is far from over, and we're honored to walk it with you. Thank you for staying with us until the very end. Keep shining your light, stay rooted in purpose, and move forward with courage. Until next time, blessings and love to all the beautiful souls from